Welcome to Season 2 of Gloves Off, Super Smash Bros. Podcast. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. My name is Chris ZX. I am your host, joined today by just a few of my friends who also joined me this past weekend at Suplex City, starting with Koopa.
Hello.
And then we have infamous ring announcer, who is aptly named Stu the Announcer. Hello, Stu.
Indeed you do. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you on here. I feel like it's been a while coming. I wanted to have you on the show for a while, and I just couldn't think of a better time than now. So, and then
Hey, man, that makes one of us.
and then we also have Hangman, who might be ordering food at the moment. So I'm gonna he's on the road. So I mean, guys got to eat dinner. It's got out of work. So we'll let him jump in later. But we're starting, and we're starting at pretty much immediately after where we left off last week. We didn't even have a normal show last week. We were doing the first season's power rankings on Friday, which meant no episode last Tuesday, our normal day. And the funny thing is we finished off Friday, finally finished off the first season, something that's been a long time coming for me. I'll get into that in a second. And then we started the next day with the circuit for season 1, which was kind of the end officially, and then probably the biggest beginning you could ever have to a second season in Suplex City, which was crazy because it featured pretty much most of the people who made the PR on that Friday, having crazy upsets that weekend. So it was just one of those really cool, serendipitous sort of events. And
just to add on to that, this is I'm trying to think of a better start to season 2, but admittedly I don't remember much of the TV that I watch nowadays. So
yeah, it's I don't know. It was definitely. I kind of can't even get over how the weekend played out. You would almost think it was scripted to some end. I don't know. It from me as someone who spends a lot of time putting the scene together and doing a lot of things. It just felt so appropriate to end or to start in such a way.
I mean, you also would have thought it was scripted because it was wrestling themed, but that's neither here
nor
there.
Oh shiz! Yo, you're right. That's even better.
Yeah, there you go, man. It all ties in, but. What I found so interesting about this is because you were and tying it back in with last week when it was the power rankings reveal. What was the 1, 2, and 3 at Suplex City? It was the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in New Jersey in that order. That's how good this state is. It's a little nuts, and I say this with just a little bit of spite in my heart because I am Philly, but. That's not it, but really it just goes to show how strong Tri-State is. It just goes to show how much everyone stepped up. And it's hard to dispute that Jersey might very well be the best region for Smash in the world right now.
Oh, let's hold on there.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, look who it is. It's Hangman.
Hangman here in dramatic fashion because we do need to keep ourselves rooted in reality. New Jersey, definitely sick. Definitely cannot take this weekend away from them. But they're not the only ones who had shined over this weekend.
No, true. Well, the big thing is this kind of got lost in the wash a little bit with all the excitement over Suplex City and everything. But it's even in the bracket of Suplex City was the Tristate Circuit, which was taken by actually Hangman, your home turf of Long Island, New York, Aeon, which was. I thought that was a lot of fun to watch personally. The circuit itself, ton of fun to watch, ton of fun to stream, and yeah, your boys definitely took it away, kind of convincingly at the very least.
I'm very proud of the team, despite all of the kerfuffles that we had along the way.
The kerfuffles
from Mr. E sleeping in to Reggie kidnapping Jewel and taking him to McDonald's.
That's wild.
Aeon did not have an easy track to the.
Dude, I don't know, and it's funny because Aeon was kind of I would say was definitely a favorite for the circuit, just because well, first of all, I want to add that DeBuzz would probably have come in to play for Aeon, but he didn't qualify, and I think it was because Utopian Ray chose to be on Aeon's team instead of Xeno's, which was insane counterplay in my opinion. Basically just to keep DeBuzz out and also ensure that he's on the strongest team. Because even Xeno, I think, they were missing Shinji, who got replaced, I believe, by
They're missing
Helper
Sinji and Venia.
and Venya. Yeah, so they had Helper, and then they also had who replaced Venya? I'm trying to find the document right now that has all the teams on it, but until I do, I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember either, but
I'm gonna find it.
yeah, I think I want to point out. I'm pretty sure Ray qualified through like 4 different because
He did. He qualified for Undiscovered, Encore, Xeno, and Aeon, and he wanted to come to Aeon. He never gave a straight answer as to why, but he always hangs out with us anyway, so it's like, all right, I'll just say that he watched anime with us once, and that's the reason.
By the way, I think it was Dill. I think Dill was who replaced Venya, which makes sense.
Right.
It was pretty much a HO3K team, which makes sense considering the Xeno series is hosted by HO3K. But anyways, so yeah, this tournament was crazy, dude, because not only did it get thrown together really last minute, and it featured 2GG was kind of like the brains behind it, along with RJ, who's very well known now for Collision and a lot of the other things he's been doing over like the past decade of Smash Brothers existence. But it really did allow a lot of well, honestly, there's always a lot of talent in this area, let's be real, but there was definitely just like a bigger magnifying glass because of like those entities being involved. And the cool part is MHG and House did end up being the main streams, so we got to see guys that are always on these streams go out and like not just like they totally flexed, you know what I mean? Like they totally flexed, and the best part is like they're on these streams all of the time. So I think it was like about as good of a display of talent for this area that you could have ever asked for in terms of just like home turf and everything else. Like it just, I don't know. I honestly can't say enough about it. I'm gonna find a couple clips if I can. And you guys got to cast quite a bit of it.
Yeah, I guess I'll open up. So, I feel like this event, it was weird, because I feel like the event could have probably been a lot bigger, but I feel like because of the time between Collision and this, RJ, like, not even as great as a TO as RJ is, he's been doing this for so long, you risk spreading yourself a little thin, but nonetheless, like, the event was still able to hit C tier, albeit with an onslaught of like 30-something entrants on the last day of registration, because Smashers love spending $60 when they could save money.
Wild, man. Well,
No,
yeah,
no, that's the Tristate special. That's not even just Smashers. That's definitely like the homeboys.
Yeah, you're right. Because like I was very disappointed with the amount of people that like live in the Tri-State area that were signing up like last second, and I'm just like, you guys are constantly asking for like PGR tiered events in this area, and yet you're signing up for this stuff like last second. Like, come on, man.
Well, the thing, it's funny because I was not expecting this tournament. Like, obviously you expect to see all the bigger guys there, and then this was co-branded with Nairo with 2GG, so he's going to be there, and then that always brings like quite a bit of talent with it. But then like, the numbers didn't look great, and I think initially RJ's like, I'll just be happy if we hit like, I don't know, 150 people, or I think he said 130 actually. I think he just wanted to get past 128 just for like that perfect bracket and then go from there. But then like, yeah, last minute everyone signs up, and I don't know what exactly happened to create that. I do think it is just like everyone's really last minute around here, but yeah, ended up being PGRC, which means now we've had how many PGR events in this Northeast area in the past season? Just in Season 1, we had Collision, we had this, this is technically Season 2, but we'll count it. So that's 2.
And if Let's Make Moves qualified within the season, it's
yeah, so Let's Make Moves, and then is there one? Oh yeah, and like Overclocked. If you go up into New England, that was B, wasn't it? Was that a B tier?
I think that was either B. I want to say C tier, just because I don't really recall the size. It was a C tier, yeah.
We haven't broken into a B tier yet.
Oh, I remember. Dude,
but we're getting close.
Well, yeah, because Collision was like, I think legitimately it was like 5 or 6 people off. Like,
something like that,
like
yeah.
Literally. So like
it was real close.
Yeah, so we were definitely flirting with it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there anything that you guys think of in particular that like I guess we could just kind of talk results. As Stu kind of already alluded to, The top three were the top three of the PR, the new PR in New Jersey, and then after that we got to see the likes of Dark Wizzy, we got to see Leon, we got to see Light, Mars, DeBuzz, rounding off the top eight. And I think the craziest part about this is the top four seeds, and I'm trying to remember who the top four seeds are.
It was Nairo, some combination of Nairo, Mars, Light, and
yeah. So if this list, if the attendees list is correct, and I think it is, I think it like lists them by seed. It looks like it was DeBuzz, Nairo, Mars, and then James. So you had the top three seeds of this tournament, basically upset by New Jersey players in New Jersey.
Yeah. So like
New Jersey definitely defended the homestead during Suplex.
Yeah, dead ass. But like the one thing I will say that because there was a handful of really good storylines going into this tournament, and one of them obviously being Mars, not just because of the collision stuff, but because his stock was like super high like going into this tournament because of how many tournaments he's won like subsequent. Like he won like 3 C tiers in a row or something like that, and obviously like
the PG thing too.
Right, that obviously too. Like it's one of his like I think it's like a second or third big like tournament under the PG moniker. And obviously, like whenever you get all of Tristate together in one spot, you're not really sure what's going to happen because there's obviously players like Juice who fell short at 9th, and 6 went all Incineroar and he died for our sins. God bless that man.
He went all Incineroar?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Wow.
He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go all Incineroar for the suplex, and I'm just like, yo, man, I love you.
Yeah, you know what, man? I respect that so much. That he really committed to the bid. That's amazing.
Yeah, but I think what was really surprising is that up until like the Thanos snap in bracket, everything was pretty much chalk. Like there really wasn't anything like super surprising. I think Nairo dropped the game to Enzo, and that was kind of like and then he proceeded to kind of get the doors kicked in. But yes. So like the tournament was definitely something to be spoken for, and like obviously good on Wishes for beating Light. It took him like 4 sets to do so, and Jackal 3-0'd Mars, and obviously the big story being Leon being the only person in the tournament to actually take a set off of Nairo. And then I think it would have been something if Leon kind of like bottomed out and like lost after that, but he continued to win and like perform very well, and I compared him on commentary to like Captain Marvel when she comes in Endgame, where like you think everybody that's gonna show up to the dance, and then you have this one person swoop in and be like, "Yo, I'm godlike," and to me that's like the big thing here, because like you never see upsets like that. You see upsets like that happen, but never in like the sequence of how quickly they happen and all that stuff, and it just really speaks for just the talent level and how deep this region is.
Well, the cool part about the Leon stuff is like, I'll be honest with you, like I think if you follow this area or if you're a guy who's from New Jersey, like you kind of knew realistically like Leon is very capable of doing exactly what he did, which at that point, like beating Nairo, it wasn't even like that close. It was a 3-1 set, and I believe it was winners quarters, or no, I think it was top 32, the first match of top 32 as a matter of fact.
Yes,
I think you're right.
Yeah, so like pretty crazy, right? Because full disclosure, Master Hand doesn't usually get this level of attention, really. Like the Twitch channel, chat, everything like that. So when I start seeing the chat light up, basically like, wow, who is this guy? What is this? This is nuts. You hear like some random, yada, yada, yada. Fortunately, we had just finished the PR the night before, and I was just like, actually, chat, this is the number 6 player in New Jersey, Bowser Main, who has actually won several tournaments there, yada yada yada. And all of a sudden, like there's like some context there. So it was just kind of nice to see some of the things that you already know possible actually happen, because Leon is one of those players who literally like just squeaked on to the last PR of New Jersey last season of Ultimate. Like literally number 15. People don't even like 15-man PRs. And then looking at you, Hangman. And then like, and then like outside.
Hey, listen, ours is gonna be out by the end of the week. We already did all of our work.
Dude, I almost want to open up the Arcadian to everyone if everyone's PR is done, but we'll get back to that. I'm not going to say that right now. But in either case, so no one even knew who this guy was. Like, New Jersey barely knew who this guy was. And all of a sudden he comes out, wins tournaments using Bowser nonetheless. Like just sort of, like just overall like unexpected, but you know, it was definitely traceable. Like people saw it coming if you're from around here. At least I did. I don't know. Maybe I'm obviously not out of my mind because it happened, but yeah, it's crazy to see. Like a little bit of context added to your Smash Brothers goes a long way. Which is something. Yeah, Stu. I mean, you're a big advocate of this because I think every time I have you casting, you usually have a laptop in your face looking at results and, you know, past, present, all that.
Yeah, and really, it just it's all about building a narrative on commentary. But when you think about it, it just makes so much sense because this guy Leon, who is just the nicest guy, by the way, really is just
Yes.
such a cool dude, such a humble dude, and deserves every little bit of success that he's gotten. This guy just sort of it really was his coming out party, this win against Nairo. But you also talk about the fact that Nairo, who had come up short so many times, finally gets over the hump, or wishes taking it to Nairo in losers. Or you're talking about Shoyo James coming out undefeated from winner's side. There's so many things to be said about all this, and that all goes back to the PR when we get to talk about, you know, it just stack things up, who's where, and, you know, it is just that. It's a rough estimate. And there's always just like, it's not a 100% thing. You're not always just going to have the number one sweep over everyone. That's like, in the words of, is it Yogi Berra who said that's why they play the game?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's, and the same goes really for everything. I mean, you could talk about who wins what matchup, 70-30 or 60-40, but at the end of the day, there's people, there's the human factor, and it's exciting. It's awesome, really, and it makes things like Leon beating Nairo not only possible but plausible.
I mean, definitely, man. Because right now I have on the screen is Leon versus the Great Gonzalez in the first episode of Platinum Star. And it's just funny to see that because at the time that was sort of just like, you know, Gonz has a storied history in New Jersey. He goes out, he's probably won more tournaments than anyone in the state, including James, including Nairo. Like, he just kind of goes out and works. And then, like, you know, he obviously faces off against Leon a ton just because of that. And I don't know, like, just seeing him come from here where he loses a set to Gonz just to come into an upset, it is something. But, like, you know, there was obviously a lot of other things going on as far as New Jersey players go in particular. Like, James not just upsetting DeBuzz, but, like, 3-0ing DeBuzz, like, very, very convincingly. Yeah. Like, geez,
yeah.
Man.
I said to James after that happened, and I'm just like, it only took you, like, 4 years and, like, 2 different characters to finally take the set off DeBuzz. Because that was always kind of James's big... The big problem for James is whenever he would travel, like, because obviously he kind of had a chokehold on a region for a while, back when he was, like, very active and in his prime. But whenever he'd travel out of state, he'd, like, run into some blender of the same, like, 3 players every now and then, which would be, like, it would be Salem, it would be MVD, and it would be the Buzz. And he would, like, constantly run into these guys. So, like, to see James, like, be able to, like, expel, like, at least half of those demons from his closet, like, it's a big deal to him because obviously Nairo took it with the reset. And I think just to touch really back on quickly on Nairo for a second, but, like, obviously the big storyline for him is that he was finally able to get the proverbial monkey off of his back and win his first, you know, big tournament of Ultimate. But in the way that he had to do it was absolutely insane because, like, I would love to see the percentage of people that go from potential, like, 25th place at a tournament because he lost round 1 of top 32 winners. So I would love to see the percentage of people could potentially go from tying for 25th to winning the tournament because I imagine it's not that high. And, you know, even though Nairo doesn't come around, obviously, like, it's no secret he doesn't attend locals. Like, he comes to the big events in the region. But to be able to see him, like, you know, still be kind of 1 or 2 steps ahead of everybody is absolutely insane. With a character that he even admits that he's trying to, like, you know, he's trying to see other women, you know, on the side of Palutena. And it was honestly just a beautiful thing to watch. Like, no bias aside, like, for him to be able to do that, like, and considering the fact he drops like 4 game ones in a row against like multiple players, like showing that he could bleed, like that just speaks for not only how like small the skill gap can be, but also just how like, you know, cerebral and like steady of a mind he is.
Yeah, dude, Nairo is like he's a beast. But yeah, what were we about to say, Stu?
No, I was just going to say it was a very gritty mentality, and it's the sort of thing that we like to talk about in our. I think we were talking about this, Cooper, the sort of mentality that we like to see in our professional athletes. It isn't even necessarily all skill. There's also a little bit of grit. There's a toughness to it that it kind of appeals to us. Just I guess as Northeasterners, it really is kind of that kind of place. And Nairo exhibited that with his gameplay, having to come out of the first round into losers bracket, winning I believe it was 9 straight sets in losers in order to take home the championship. That is the sort of intestinal fortitude that not everyone has, and it's the sort of thing that can carry you a long way in life, and certainly in the competitive realm. And that's very Northeast, and I guess you could say that's very Jersey, and that's Nairo for you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way you could put it. I mean, Nairo's probably been doing this now longer than most people. Coming on the scene when he was 15, and just imagining that kind of growth where he can kind of come out and do that. And I know Nairo has sort of had the Koopa, as you alluded to, like kind of like the never really being able to win the big dance, but always in the discussion, always doing really cool stuff. Obviously made huge waves with the Ganon at Collision. But yes, stuck to his girl here, and that's it. And I guess I think I recall seeing him saying he's probably going to be trying to go more Zero Suit in the future. Did you see that? Am I making that up? I'm almost positive I saw that. Anyone? Did I lose the call? You guys still there? Well, I don't know what happened to the call, but let me see if I fix it here. Well, all right, yeah, I don't know what happened to the call, but hopefully you get it figured out. I'm going to drop out of it and enter back in it and see if that fixes it.
Oh.
There we go.
There you are.
I don't know. The call dropped. I'm sitting there like I left it with an open-ended question. No one said anything, and I was just like,
Yeah, sorry, man. We actually don't like.
You had to ponder.
I was like, oh no, not like this.
Yeah, I had to sit on a bit, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But just for like quick reference, just kind of to like look at the bracket that Nairo had to go through. Like I think he had to beat like after losing to Leon, he had to beat like Blank and Bankai, and I think he had to play. There's somebody else he had to play before June.
Here, let's see. I got the bracket open now. You should be able to see it on the screen share. It's let's see, where is he? Nairo had to beat, so he had to beat Blank, he beat Bankai, he beat Jackal. Oh my god, dude. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Let's see what else. And then beats to Buzz 3-0. And then okay.
None of those are easy sets.
Yeah, dude. And then Leon is the only one to take off a game. Nice. And then Dark Wizzy took a game, Wishes took a game. But all in all, man, like that's a flex if I've ever seen one.
Also, the Buzz in the mix of that as well. Like
3-0 once again.
He had to beat so many people like on route to victory here, and like I said, it speaks for a lot for like his bracket stamina, but also the fact that guys like Wishes and James were still able to take games, and obviously Leon being the one to take the set, like that speaks for just how good that the skill level is between all of us, and that's honestly like great to see. And I think we alluded to it at the top of this podcast. It's no secret that like New Jersey is probably the strongest state right now, currently for Ultimate. But Tri-State in general is just really, really good, man. Like everything's kind of starting to come together. Like we're able to generate these PGR tiered events in the region, and it means a lot. Like we have another one coming up this weekend in the Scarlet Classic that qualified for a C tier.
Wild.
So like it's great. It's honestly a great time to like. It's great for a guy like me who's like I don't like have the same how do you say flexibility to be able to go to all these like big majors across the country. So to be able to like reap the benefits of like a PGR tutor event without having to put real pants on, Like, it's
Yeah,
honestly
man.
fantastic.
Pretty great.
Please do.
I take pride in the pants that I wear in New Jersey.
Like just because no one else can see, just because the people at home can't see under the desk doesn't mean that I can't. Like, please.
So I
Here in
do.
Tri-State, we might wear pants.
We're going straight biker shorts this weekend. Sorry.
Oh man.
I was
Like,
almost.
okay,
No, go ahead.
padding or no padding?
Anyway, moving on, Chris.
No, I was almost gonna jump back to the circuit, but quite honestly, we're kind of on on a kind of a tear talking about a lot of the players that are local, and then we were just kind of mentioning that the first season ended, and
I think we could talk about the circuit a little bit, because the circuit, like, it was the source of a little bit of controversy, because I was not aware that if you entered the circuit, you can't enter teams. And this is probably one of the saddest like doubles brackets I've seen in my young life.
Dude, there was like
but...
10 teams. Let's see, how many entrants total? 231 entrants and 12 teams.
Yeah, so I feel like if there was like a better like, maybe if this event was a 2-day, like you'd be able to run the circuit on one day and still be able to like save teams. But that's neither here nor there. That's obviously, food for thought for next time, because the circuit worked out well. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure how it was gonna be received.
I don't think anyone, like, for one, people didn't really know about it, and for two, I think everyone thought it just was gonna not run well, because like the rules were like different than most things.
Yeah, no, and
Smashers' brains sort of fry if they see a bracket that isn't double elimination. So the idea of a modified Swiss definitely like confused the hell out of a lot of players. But once RJ broke it down to simplified terms and then actually ran it, everyone was like, "Oh, all right, this is all right." And then once it got down to a single elimination bracket, everyone was in go time.
Yeah, and my favorite part about it, like even just as like the streamer, you get to see a lot of these guys. Like right now on the screen, I have the Lab and Aeon. Like I watch these weeklies all the time. I'm pretty familiar with a lot of these guys, but getting them on like just the stream at this point, and I think the stream is going to rotate to streamers and locations for the circuit, which obviously makes a ton of sense. But like just getting some of these guys like on the stream here is actually pretty cool, because wait, hold on. I think I just disconnected again. But like, anyways, like it was actually,
oh no.
Yeah, I disconnected again for some reason. But anyways, yeah. As I was saying, having like guys that aren't usually on the stream and being able to kind of like showcase them is really cool, because not only does that expand like the existent like audience and people that watch this stream, but it kind of gets these players a bigger name outside of their own streams as well. So like just the synergy and all that was probably my favorite part.
Oh, are you back? Are you there?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm having some internet issues, but all I was saying or trying to say to you guys was that it was nice having other people on the stream from out of the area, and cool to see like different people get seen by different audiences. Was my takeaway.
Ultimate early phases, like everyone still has like extreme regional pride for their sub areas. So like Long Island claims itself really strong. This city claims itself really strong. Various parts of New Jersey claims itself really strong. Hell, Central New Jersey claims it exists, and I think that's a bold enough claim.
It does. It exists.
I was gonna say really quick, but you go first, Sue.
No. I was just saying, Central Jersey is a lie, and it doesn't actually exist. And anyone who believes that, I just feel sorry for you. No, but and obviously, Philly claims itself to be strong as well. It's just there are so many little pockets of tri-state that all could. I mean, if you put them just randomly across the country, they would be so dominant. It's a little nuts. And just to think that we have all this quality coming out consistently, 2 locals each and every week, and that was exhibited in the Tristate Circuit. I mean, it was a really cool concept that can be fleshed out, and I would say, just like any other human construct, it can be improved on. So I'd love to see another thing like this, where we have the best of the locals kind of competing at the end of the season. And with all due respect, Chris, I really hope that they don't pull the plug on this.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. RJ seemed pretty.
Let's go.
Dude, I don't know. I loved streaming this. This was like the most fun I've had in a while, just because. I don't know, dude. Like getting to see, like, especially you get to see different characters. Like your region, like Hangman, your region sees Yoshi's literally all the time. We never see Yoshi ever, ever. We never see. You know, so
let's keep it that way. Well, if there's one thing I would like to expand on is that so do you think that you'd still be able to run a straight organized like Swiss bracket if you added like another 2 locals or something like that? Because I feel like instead of like keeping it like very central to Tri-State, I feel you could definitely expand this into like a Northeast thing, because there's Synthesis out in Connecticut that actually just broke. They had like an 800 plus viewers in a bracket last night, like over 200 entrants or something like that.
I feel pretty confident that I can, but keep going.
So like,
Yeah.
I feel like with Connecticut is fairly well connected to the rest of the tri-state area. Like in the early phases of Ultimate, it's sort of garnering this like 4-state tri-state identity with like real life tri-state and fighting game tri-state combined. The problem with going for the entire Northeast is that there's a couple of states in New England where they have like maybe 1 local, and I really do mean maybe, because some of the smaller ones are just like, yeah, no, we'll just travel 3 hours to the right and eventually hit Massachusetts. And then even Massachusetts is like fairly far. Like, I know it's a good amount of effort for our friends to the north coming down for us whenever they're coming from Mass, but like the CT crew travels fairly often just because it's closer. And
Right.
we start to reach that bubble where it's like, well, how far is someone willing to travel for something like that consistently?
So
Very true.
the thing about this circuit was there ended up being a lot of money at the end of it. So like it was pretty worth if you're a player. But the tough part about the circuit at the same time is with all that money, it was only top 2 payout. So you had, I think it was 9 teams, I believe, or maybe 8, because I think one had the drop. And so only 2 of those teams win money, and the team number 1 I think got like 60% of the pot, if I'm not mistaken. So
it was a 70-30 split.
Oh, 70-30. So there you go. So it's like the stakes are pretty high. So like you're not only are you traveling if you're out of region, like you got to show up too, you know?
Yeah. Philly wound up taking home, I think, 120 each. So yeah, Juice and Blazing Pasta and them, they made out pretty well.
That's still pretty good, honestly. Because
I gotta.
What do you gotta?
No, I was gonna say just really quick on the topic of the Philly team. I gotta say I've never seen Gons like so engaged and like encouraging before in my entire life, because it's
dude.
And like that was absolutely incredible to just so like watch Gons like dapping everybody up and like being the ultimate team player. It was like literally one of the funniest things I've seen.
Dude, he was coaching him. I was watching him kind of pacing. He's got the fist kind of out, pumping a little bit. Like it was something. Like seeing God's enthusiastic is just as good as it is bad seeing him like pissed off. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like the opposite's at least there.
Coaching the rest of the Bears team to a victory was a sight to behold.
In all fairness, Juice isn't actually tall. His head is just big.
Oh, man. That's great.
Is it even okay to say that about someone?
I don't know.
There's no rules on this podcast.
That's true.
I shoot you
No
first,
rules.
ask questions later, man.
Jeez, man.
Y'all trust me with a microphone. Joke's on you.
That's fair. But, yeah, so I thought the circuit was a rousing success. I would love to see it continue. I know that James and company are actually petitioning to have the Platinum Star Weekly included in the circuit, because that way they'd be able to like enter and do stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. And I'd love to see it expand to maybe like a 10 team versus an 8 team, just to kind of include like I said, like there are those weeklies in Connecticut that are really good. Like even not even the entire Northeast, but just like include a couple of those other dudes.
Well,
and I feel like that'd be really cool to see.
I think that's the intention. I know RJ mentioned that he doesn't have any other events to worry about for the next few months, so we'll probably see a lot more emphasis on the Tri-State Circuit. I'm pretty sure he's already worked on a new logo. So, I know it's here to stay at the very least, and I just want to mention that if Platinum Star Weekly does get in, that's going to make for 2 Central Jersey locals, FYI.
Ooh.
Central Jersey.
Wow,
Where's
it
that?
really does exist.
You lost me. You had me, and then you lost me.
But speaking of Central Jersey, New Jersey Power Ranking did come out, as well as like a million other power rankings. I'm surprised at how quickly all the power rankings came out, by the way. I don't know if you guys have noticed how many power rankings are on Twitter, but there's a lot. I think I saw... I don't know, which ones did I see? I'm going to just look right now, but I'm pretty sure I saw maybe like a Texas one. I'm pretty sure I saw...
I think everybody had the same idea where they were all just going to simultaneously drop their PRs like after the 3rd month, because New England released theirs. I don't think Philly released theirs yet, but I know Texas did theirs. SoCal's did theirs.
We released ours.
Oh, did you? I don't remember if you did or not. Okay.
We released the PR. We just didn't make the graphic because literally I am in a Facebook chat where they're fighting about what the theme should be. So welcome to Philadelphia.
I bet everybody wants a Dragon Ball Z theme because that's just a Philly meme.
Dude,
It was Dokapon. They were talking about Dokapon.
Oh, that's actually pretty sick. I'm about that.
So, all right. So we had Massachusetts. We have that power ranking out. Mars obviously at the top of it. Laid number 2, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize Rafi, Pelka, DM. Matty G makes that list, and then it looks like SoCal's PR with Void number 1. Nico,
And Nico is surprising number 2, honestly.
That's super surprising.
Surprising, but not surprising. IMO, because like when you look at SoCal results, like Nico, like low key has like super strong results, and Lord help me if I ever have to play a Shulk for like in my entire life, because I want that character to stay as far away from me as humanly possible.
Hey, come to Long Island. We got one of those too.
Please, absolutely. First of all, that would involve me having to go on the Throg's neck and the Cross Bronx. I don't want to do that.
Hey, man. Someone else got to do that going home.
Yeah, but
Bully.
MDVA released theirs, I'm pretty sure, and like the little sub-regions like did their stuff too. So I do think it's kind of cool. Everybody's just kind of releasing it at the same time. Cough, cough. New York. When will New York return from war?
Listen, we actually are in the process of making the graphic. We're having custom work done. I don't know if I guess I get little spoilers by very, very, very popular demand. Proton is assisting us with the Quarter 1 2019 graphic. I can't say what the theme is. I don't know what his progress is, but I do know what the PR is. And let me tell you, we got some spiciness ahead of us.
I'm about it.
I could picture that New York PR being really weird, mostly because there's so much variance in results there, and there's so many Palutinas, and there's also just so many like outside of the Palutinas characters that aren't even that common. Like you have like Sinji's Pac-Man, you have Venya's Greninja, who I guess is starting to become a more common character, but not that common. So those are all people like that you expect to see. Obviously, like your DeBuzz, Mr. E, those guys. So there's so many names there. It'll definitely be interesting to see who like ends up landing on it. But that's the whole point. It's exciting to see. And having them all come out, that's like the plan. You know what I mean? Like they should all be coming out at sort of the same point. So it's nice to see everyone on the same page, despite not necessarily being on the same page on purpose.
Yeah.
It's
like you all unintentionally thing.
Yeah, but it works because So this is the New Jersey one, and we did like a little reveal for it. Hold on, I just realized you guys can't see it now. You can though. So this was like ours. We did the reveal show for it. So I'm imagining a world where all of the regions do this, and then like it's really easy to recognize the regions and the players and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool to think about and to kind of see in practice, even when it's not organized.
Yeah, so just to kind of lift up the curtain on where the idea from that came from, I actually, because I believe it was like over the summer, he obviously did a show for a while called The Stock Exchange, where he would just kind of talk about like it was his version of what we do, where he kind of like highlights the local scene and all. Massachusetts, and it was really, really interesting. And I'm just like, you know what? That's really cool, because like one of the things that irritated me the most about like PR season is like having to feed off like the hordes of angry YouTube comments, except from real people, about like, oh, how come X person is here and Y person is not? And I figured like doing a show about it would like at least like make things a little bit more transparent to our decisions, even though people still complain anyway. Cough, cough. Thanks. Thankfully, nobody came up to me like in real life and like bitched me out. But like,
well, the good news is this time around, at least for us in particular in this state, it sounds like it was kind of clean cut. Like if people had seen the actual results, like it would be clear that whoever placed wherever placed there for a good reason, you know?
Yeah, I agree. But I think New England did a reveal show, and I think they might have done something, because I saw one of my friends say that she was watching in a bar or something like that, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sick.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I think they might have done something. I don't know if they they saved theirs for future watches, but I do want us to give a shout out to Glenn, making another PR graphic for us.
Way better than the last, by the way.
Yeah, the last one was kind of like a stupid idea that I came up with like last second, because like,
well, it was a good idea. It was pretty good execution. It's just no one cared about it, because no one cared about Smash 4 at the end. You know,
if you guys ever want to see like the epitome of this, go back and watch like the last Smash 4 fucking PR reveal show, and stop watching after number 12.
Yeah, that's good advice. Good advice. Well, actually though, the thing is Leon was 15, so there's some substance there.
Yeah, that is true. There is a lot to work with there, but yeah, I do think it's kind of cool how everybody showed up on the same PR, like at the same time. Whether that continues to be the trend or not is not up to me nor to decide,
or anyone in this call. But my question is the PGR stuff. When is technically the first PGR season done, and why isn't it quarterly like everyone else?
If I remember correctly, PGR season 1 is ends at Evo. Or ends right before Evo?
These guys, man. These corporate fat cats, I'll tell you. None of them watch my show. It's okay.
Suarez in the New York area. We can eventually, like, find him, ask him. Because I'm sure someone at Panda Global has to own a calendar. They must know that a start and end can be
I'm just
logical.
saying it's pretty logical to go by seasons, and I'm also saying that pretty much every other esport does, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a fucking streamer.
I mean, Capcom Cup is pretty stupid. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's true.
The Arc Revo World Tour is also incredibly odd. The Tekken World Tournament series actually works by, I think, quarterly, much as we do all of our power rankings and such, so that one makes sense. Like, quarterly just makes sense because you look at a calendar and you have a good concept of, oh, all right, it's going to end and start here. Wow.
Never forget, there was that fabled time in New Jersey where I think RJ was like in between jobs and like apartments, so like the PR stuff got done like once every 6 months.
Yeah, well, it's an effort, man. And then even just recently, we started to get the applications, so it made it less of an effort. But outside of that, geez.
Well, for what it's worth, the 6-month period works too, because then that's just bi-quarterly. But it's kind of a big window of time, so your results are going to look kind of odd.
Yeah, believe me, it wasn't by choice. RJ asked me to like correct the PR graphic on New Year's Eve when I was like 6 drinks deep and I could not read. So, nonetheless, those were dark times. But that was back when James still had Buge in his Twitter handle.
Oh my god!
Is that how that was pronounced?
Yeah, I say Buge.
I've never actually heard it said, so I always like mentally read it as Boogie.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think there's like a right way to say it.
The right way to say it is to not say it at all.
Yeah, if you're curious what we're talking about, just go to Facebook and I think it was baby names.
Yeah, baby names.
Just type in your search bar baby names, and you'll see.
Yeah, that was cursed. But yeah, I think so. Out of this is a fun little exercise. So like, what's everybody's out of all like the PR stuff that was posted? Like, what's everybody's favorite theme? And what's one of your favorite like PR themes that was like left on the cutting room floor? Because I got a couple.
Favorite theme?
Yeah, like what like out of the ones that you guys
right.
saw,
Yeah,
like,
I just want to make sure I heard.
I obviously really like ours, but I think the mass one. I'm like
The mass one is only good because they happen to have Scott and Pilgrim power ranked this quarter. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it would have just been a cute novelty.
I actually forgot that Scott lives in Massachusetts.
He just moved there, I think. He was from Connecticut.
Yeah. He was like formerly like a top like 3 or 4 player in Connecticut, but yeah, I actually did not put 2 and 2 together on that. It just became 10 times better now.
Yeah, man, we've seen Scott in this area before, which is pretty cool. Because his brother is Glare.
Glare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Fun
Blair's
fact.
slowly back on the come up.
Fun fact: Scott's tag actually used to be Great Scott. I'm pretty sure. So
That's amazing.
Stu. Oh.
why does everyone
You think you're cool, but you're not. No.
why does everyone keep saying heavy? Is there something wrong with gravity in the 1980s?
Those are my favorite movies. By the way.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great movie.
I
But
want to give a quick shout out to the Manitoba Q1 2019 PR. Manitoba like tucked into part of the nothing that is Canada, and there's nothing particularly special about this PR. Its theme is kind of cool. It's got like a bar neon light sign kind of aesthetic to it. It's visually pleasing, and there's no particularly noteworthy players on there out of Manitoba. Sorry, Manitoba, except for their number 10. Who has possibly the greatest tag I've ever seen in all Super Smash Bros.
Oh, wow. It says
That
Fidel
being-
Cashflow.
Fidel Cashflow, the greatest play on word I've ever
Oh,
seen.
my God, dude.
That's pretty good.
That
That's
is pretty good.
fantastic. God. So
Yeah,
there's one...
I thought my nickname on Twitter was good, Clout Strife, but no, that's way better.
well
They
played.
all pale in comparison.
Yeah, I think that rivals like Skinny Penis is one of my favorite like tags of all time. But
That
I got
the screenshot of Skinny Penis 2-0ing Dig Dick Billy or whatever it was.
not just Skinny Penis. Put respect on his name. It's your boy Skinny Penis.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing. It was at an all charged up like pre-ultimate. Like obviously this is what October I think it was, and
Yeah.
I hear Flygon calling matches on stream. He's right near the microphone. He's like, "Can I have Geo versus a Skinny Penis? I need a Skinny Penis." And everyone laughs. And I don't even know if he realized what he was saying, but Flygon, if you're listening, you're a treasure.
So really quick, if there's one region, I think one region actually got their PR out like super early. I think it was a preseason ranking, but it's like a sub region of California, and their PR theme was like 8-bit like Game Boy graphics or like Gen 1 Pokemon graphics.
Oh my God, I think I saw that. Do you remember what region it is? I want to try and find it.
I forget. It's like a sub region of California.
All right, let me see.
I'm Hip's like the number 1 player in it or something like that. Whatever it was really cool. And like I love seeing like I understand like some people are for tradition, like they just kind of want to go with like the player graphics and like we call it a weekend. But I think it was actually Coney that brought a lot of these like really cool themes to light. Because like Michigan usually has really good graphics. They did like one of my favorites that they did is that they did The Office like one year, and that was like fantastic.
That there was a
You know
time.
what's another really good one?
Which
I think it was Southern Florida. I think it was Southern Florida, where their PR graphic theme for this quarter was like influential African American women in U.S. culture.
What?
what?
I'm not even kidding. And it's like,
Yo, where can I find this?
Yeah. He got Hungry Boss coming in at the Mary McLeod Bethune spot.
it's a really well put together PR graphic too. So like, I couldn't even be mad. It was just such an out there theme for Smash.
No. I will say
Just a little
South Florida usually has really good PR themes, and there's two in mind that I think of. There's one where they did Tinder bios, where like
That was legendary.
yeah, that one was legendary. But my actual favorite is they typed in the names of the players in Google search, and whatever the first image came up is the image they used for the PR, and it was absolutely fantastic.
That's beautiful.
It's like hands down one of my favorite like images I've ever seen, and this one's really cute too. Where they take the Smash 64 screen and they ask everybody what their most anticipated DLC characters are. And I will say, if there's one theme that I'm gonna sit on for the rest of my life, that like I think about suggesting it like every season is anime girls with hats on. Like, I think one year we almost did anime girls with Santa hats, but everybody was like, no, we're not doing that.
I can't imagine why that got shut down.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of oppressed today, gamers. How about you guys?
It's time to rise up.
So, what do we think? What do we got in store for the next season then? Because it looks like we got another 3 months that are just about to start.
Yeah, so
I think it's going to be a bloodbath right out the gate. Because now that everyone has a target on their head with PRs, and Tri-State's already been very good with traveling amongst itself, I think everyone's just going to be looking to headhunt like high priority targets and then just like farm out PR wins. Like Q2 is going to be crazy, I think.
Yeah, I agree, because not only are we like approaching, you know, everybody has a target on their shoulder. Everybody knows where the high water mark is right now. We're also like right on that sweet spot of like school starting to get out for some people, and we're going to be starting the summer of Smash like coming very soon. And
the summer of Smash is going to be insanity.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. And I feel like the Northeast and Tri-State in general has like come out so strong as a region so far in Ultimate that it's only going to raise the level of competition, because we still don't know what's going to like what can come like 3 months from now. We could continue to get these PGR tiered events in our backyard, and the level of competition is just going to increase like tenfold. And then we also have events like MomoCon and and Smash and Splash that fit into the cusp of what we're looking at right now. So it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least.
And then we're gonna see a lot of people traveling to all those things too, like Smash and Splash in particular. I'm pretty sure like everyone and their mom is going to be there. So.
Oh yeah, Wisconsin is going to host the biggest Tri-State National ever with SNS this year.
I still got to buy my flight.
Yeah, no, and I was actually about to say that.
Couldn't be me.
No, I was actually about to bring that up. It's just I feel like
Wait, you still there? Did I lose you guys, or did we lose Stu? I may have lost you guys. Hold up. Wait, Stu, start over. I'm sorry, man. You cut out because I have terrible connection today, apparently.
No, it's all good. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring up myself, because I feel like you're going to see the most brutality in out of region tournaments, like the super majors or the Smash and Splashes and the Pounds. They're going to be mad crazy. And I feel like once you get later into the brackets, when people start meeting up with each other, I feel like Tri-State's going to come out, and they're going to come out swinging against pretty much anything that the world has to offer. And obviously you're going to have your big, your big, like the A tier, quote unquote, Smash names, but then you're going to have the people on the come up from Tri-State, the Wishes and the Shoyo Jameses, who it's hard to imagine him being on the come up, quote unquote, but I mean, he's becoming a bigger and bigger name as time goes on, and that's a little crazy to think about. Like, James is scary, and people know him, and it's going to be nuts thinking about just how much Tri-State is going to be put into the spotlight in the coming season. It's just a matter of who is going to come out the least skate, in my opinion, because once we get to super majors, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Well, James has already kind of made a name for himself at Smash and Splash before. Like
oh yeah,
like it's crazy. Like he's been on that, man. So it'll be definitely fun to see who joins him or if he continues that success. So That'll be a good one, and that is what is that? The first weekend of June, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
the
May
May
31st. Yeah. Yeah.
So like just a little bit like over a month until that happens.
Yeah. That's definitely gonna be something.
Chris, are you gonna go to Smash and Splash?
I'd really like to. I gotta see if I could get the funding, but I think I kind of can at this point. So we'll see. I gotta plan out if I am. I haven't committed yet, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, homie's gonna buy his flight still. So
I guess let me know where you end up. Maybe I'll surprise everyone.
spoiler, it's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. Like now that everything's kind of set, and I do think things that we are kind of anticipating yet is that this is going to be the first season with like I don't want to count Piranha Plant because Piranha Plant is null and void and dead in my mind, but this is going to be the first season where we start getting like drastic changes to the game because we still got 3.0 on the horizon by the end of the month. Like even by the end of the month, the game is going to be drastically different because we're
Yeah,
gonna
you're right.
we're gonna have
Joker soon.
yeah, it's almost Joker season.
Yeah, dude. So between the DLC, it's so funny to think about. Like even thinking about Smash 4 before all that DLC came out. Like who knows? Like we've literally barely started this game at this point.
Yeah. And then all the DLC came out and everything was ruined.
Will history repeat itself?
Yeah, find
Will
out
the
in the
deal-
same
Yeah,
same bat time, same bat channel.
precisely. Precisely where I was going with that.
Joker.
But I guess I don't know. You guys got any closing thoughts? I'm a little sad because the connection's been so bad today, and I also heard that I was echoing. So I'm hoping that's just the stream and not the recording. But
I think you sound fine, honestly. So
well, we'll see. I gotta go back and check.
Yeah,
but...
you said
Oh no! Don't do it to me, man. You don't gotta do it to me.
So I'll go first. If obviously we do this thing at the end of the show where we give our weekly shout outs, but I'm gonna give mine obviously to
Wait, hold on. Was that ironic or did we cut out again? Dude, hold on. So tell me you gave your shout out to because you cut out literally when you said it, and I couldn't tell if you were memeing or not.
No, so I said I'm gonna give it to Jersey in general because Nairo, James, and Wishes and Leon did really well this weekend. I'm gonna give a shout out to my buddy Stu too because like you were in your element this weekend, and when you were doing the ring announcements, that was honestly like fantastic. Like kudos to you, my friend.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Like when you dropped the God of War reference with Mars, I'm just like, oh, like my dick fell out of my butt for a second. That was crazy.
I am not going to question why you had it there, but I do appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, you even got your own toasty. Your own Sir Toasty.
That's what got me hyped. Yeah, shout outs to Sir Toasty for getting me on the channel with the microphone cutting out and everything. Like, jeez, man. I didn't realize that it became that much of a meme in the chat either. Like, I'm a little hyped about that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The shrug was my favorite part. That killed all of us like consecutively. But Chris, you should probably go next before the internet naturally selects you again.
Yeah, jeez. Well, yeah, you could totally find me on Twitter at CSantosZX. I post a lot about Smash stuff, mostly because it's a big part of my life at this point. So if you want to see more about that and more about how things work around here, you can go ahead and follow that. And also continue to follow this podcast because we got all this information and more on the weekly. And if you were watching it, you probably could have predicted a lot of those upsets. So when you guys start gambling on this stuff in the future, y'all know who to go talk to first. Got that insider info.
Frank, you want to go next?
Yeah, as far as shout outs go, I want to give a big shout out to the boys that represented Aeon in the circuit. Stocktaker, Suarez, Jewel, Utopian Ray, Kofi, all did a really good job. I'm always rooting for them, like at home and afar. Seeing them fight each other is always a bummer, which actually happened a couple of times in bracket at Suplex. But to see them pop off is always a pleasure because I feel like Long Island sort of gets lost in the mix of how great Tri-State is, but when they do get to shine, it's always a pleasure.
Well, yeah, man, those guys are actually pretty amazing, and maybe they kind of do mostly because you guys are so far away. you guys are so far up north compared to like you're pretty much at the peak of it. But in either case, like, yeah, we got to see those guys even in this first season, man. Like, we got to see Suarez flex at Let's Make Moves. We got to see those guys, so definitely a very fun region to watch. And if you're unfamiliar with them, you could find them at Aeon Gaming on Twitch. YouTube also, I'm pretty sure, is /Aeon Gaming.
Hell yeah.
But did we get Stu yet?
I don't think so, Stu. You're up, buddy.
Jeez, man, everyone overlooking Philly. That's amazing. No, just want to give a shout out, to the entire Philly scene, to everyone at Codename Bears, everyone involved with Sector X and the crew over at Gamers Heaven with Flygon. Want to shout out really all the people that make the Tri-State stuff possible. People like RJ and you, Chris, to put their faith in me and really let me try to improve and let me grind and give me these opportunities that I'm not even convinced that I've earned, but I really do appreciate you. I really appreciate you all. And it's just a shout out to everyone watching. Really appreciate you spending a couple of minutes just hanging out and chatting some Smash. And shout outs to whoever invented chicken Caesar salad, because that ish is bomb AF.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. My opinion's well deserved. Keep up the good work. And, yeah, definitely follow all these guys. You're going to see them a ton. You'll actually see Stu and Koopa this weekend at Scarlet Classic.
Yep.
They'll be commentating both.
Oh.
Wait, are you coming, Hangman?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try really hard because it's a Sunday, and I usually work Sundays, but
Well, let me know if you end up able to come through regardless, and yeah, we'll try and figure something out. But yeah, man, follow these guys. They're just a wealth of information, and they're really good at what they do. So with all of that, I guess that's going to be the show today. Sorry for all the lag and all like the dropped calls and stuff. Definitely a pain. I'm not sure if that's like a Discord thing or if it's just a connection thing. But as I'm trying to explain this, I'm realizing that I'm not in the call at all. But hey, there you guys are. Sorry, yeah. So I was just closing out. As I was closing out, I was like, well, the call dropped, but I'm going to keep closing out. So I did. But you know,
we'll save Stage Builder for when they announce direct tomorrow. So
perfect. But yeah, so if you guys are enjoying the podcast and like all the things. Make sure to hit the follows, give the VODs a view or two. Definitely helps with visibility, and definitely would really appreciate that. But in the meantime, that's going to be it for us. So yeah. Shout outs to ML for the Tier 1 sub. 22 months. Definitely the biggest fan. So that's definitely a great, Blessington indeed. So that is definitely a great way to end out. So you'll see us on Thursday for the weekly DNA. And then definitely Sunday for Scarlet Classic, and that will be the next time you see us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Adeuces.
See ya.
Bye!
Same.